Happy Wednesday. How are you doing on this amazing sunshine filled Wednesday afternoon? Well, it's sunshine filled here in Michigan. I'm happy as can be because I'm telling you, we have been under rain and rain clouds for so long. I'm just absolutely loving the sunshine. I am your host, Sonia Weaver, and welcome to Get to Know Bob. You know, I have the pleasure of being here every Wednesday on this amazing platform, getting the opportunity to speak with phenomenal people week after week. These amazing Bobs doing amazing things in our communities. We feature, of course, business owners, but then we have those founders of nonprofits. We have musicians and authors, any and everybody who are doing major things for our community. This is where the platform is, not just what they're doing or the products and their services, but who they are and why they're doing what they're doing. It makes difference, right? When we come together and everyone is actively involved in making impact in people's lives in our community, that's when you start seeing change. And so we're really excited that we have all these movers and shakers and change makers that come on here week after week. Thank you for your support of Get to Know Bob. As we kick off today's show, we have not, I don't think I've shown it in a while, but it hasn't gone anywhere. So let me just kind of put it up here in case you think it has. I'm referring to our Support 7 Bob pledge. It hasn't gone anywhere. I kick off every show letting you know what or who I've supported, right? And so just in case you need a reminder, here it is. Support 7 Black-owned businesses a week. That's simple. Support 7 Bob pledge. Now, again, am I just talking about with your resources? No. But of course, that's one avenue. We do need resource. People do need to pay bills. They need to eat. Founders and nonprofits need to have events. You know, people will have to have conferences for the information to get out. So yes, your financial support is needed, but so is your time. OMG, your time is just as valuable, if not more valuable. Volunteer. I mean, the basic thing you could do is share. I ask you guys that every week. Share my episodes with others. Put them on your social media pages. Blast it. It's not just for me. It's about these amazing businesses that are out there. Just because you may not have the need for them, you never know what a friend or two might need. So go ahead and share. That's how we're supporting 7 Bobs. That is our pledge. So who did I support? Well, for once, I got it on here too. Okay, so I supported a phenomenal event, Gather, Grow, and Glow, this past Sunday. And if you guys saw my social media platform, I had a picture about that. I was ready to go and hear about my planning and prospering and all of these amazing things. And I'm telling you, I went with expectation to receive a word from God, and I received one. OMG, I am so excited about what the future has in store. You guys, those who do not know, well, before I go there, let me finish everything about this weekend because you know me. Okay, so Gather, Grow, and Glow is just was an amazing event. And part of the reason why I actually have on the Go Get Your Life. Yes, which goes right into our deal of the day. Our deal of the day, we are giving away your own copy of Go Get Your Life by Cherise Saylor. Now, Cherise Saylor was the same person that was hosting the event I attended, and it was phenomenal. And so is Go Get Your Life. This book is phenomenal. Now, timing. Timing is huge, guys. I believe in it, especially God's timing. So here I get the book. Had to get the pre-order. You guys know I was telling you about the pre-order. When the book came in, starting reading the book, did I know? Those of you who don't know, my last day in corporate America was April 21st. Yes, just a few weeks ago. Not by my own decision. However, Definitely by God's decision. All of this preparation was here. I'm telling you guys to go get your life, that your life is not going to come knocking at the door. You got to do what's necessary to go get it, all this. So I'm preaching to you, talking to me, getting myself prepared, because now what am I doing? I'm going to get my life, and I am planning out exactly how I want that to look. It is so much freedom in what I'm doing when you manage your time. And here's the caveat. Sometimes we worry and question ourselves whether we can. We already been doing it. That's the funny thing, especially for me. I'm already doing it. It's not like it's brand new. I already have clients. But here's the thing: rebranding, refocusing, getting really honing in exactly what I'm going to be doing and offering, now that I have this newfound time. And lo and behold, get a new client. Yes, a new client since the rebranding. Let me tell you how quickly things can happen for you. I am a living testimony, and I plan on getting my life, the life that I want. And I want you to be in the same boat. So, how can you do that? How can you receive this gift? All you have to do to win your copy, the first person, okay, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You need to like and follow us on social media. You need to share 5 of our Get to Know Bob episodes on your social media and tag us. The first person to do this will receive their own copy of Go Get Your Life. Just send this information that you've completed the steps to info@dealswithbob.com, and you will receive your free copy. Now, I want to make sure I emphasize for everyone, even if you have already did step 1 and 2, you are ahead of the game. You can get free stuff week after week after week. All you have to do is share 5 episodes. And we got so many episodes out there, that should be easy. So if you already have subscribed, if you already have liked and followed us on our social media platforms, every week, all you need to do is share this with 5 new people. Let us know you did that and get those free gifts. Now, I'm telling you, this is the gift that's going to keep on giving, because it's going to get you positioned to get the life that you want. Yes, that was a mouthful, right? Okay. So we're going into our feature nonprofit for today. Can you get excited? I am excited. We are featuring this month Urban Unity. And Urban Unity is transforming minds and transforming lives, and they are fostering love. Let me tell you a little bit more about them. They create a safe haven for children and families within the foster care system. Their vision is for every child impacted by foster care to be empowered and equipped to reach their fullest potential, fully capable of living out loud the very best version of themselves. They provide programs that give foster parents and children tools and resources needed to help them live more healthy, happy, and fulfilled lives. Their programs for foster children focus on college and career readiness, personal and professional development, health and wellness, and life skills. They provide a network of civic engagement and community support to propel foster children and families further. Their focus is to educate, empower, equip, and expose. They create a safe haven and safety net for children experiencing foster care. Now, if you missed it, tune in for last week's episode. We had a conversation with the founder of Urban Unity, and they have some amazing things going on this month. There you go, the Support 7 Bob Pledge. They would love your support, and this month is Foster Awareness Month. So make sure that you take an opportunity to check out Urban Unity. As we go into our featured business on this evening, our featured business is Phlebotomy Express Training Centers. Let's take a moment to see what they do. to give a shout out to the founder of Phlebotomy Express Training Centers and say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Yes, the founder, Kimberly. Yes, it's her birthday today. And she says she is still the baddest at 58. And as her birthday gift, she's giving you guys a gift. Yes, she is. Phlebotomy technician classes, are $580 in honor of her 50th birthday. $580. You can do cash debit until July, or you can call to enroll over the phone. And these are for new enrollments only and no payment plans. This is already at a phenomenal reduced rate. So to find out more about Phlebotomy Express Training Centers, you can find them on our website. And we have a phenomenal deal for our consumer members. So if you take advantage of this $580 plus your deals with the Bob consumer membership deal, OMG, you are really, really making out. I'm telling you, that consumer membership pays over and over and over again. If you are not a consumer member, what in the world are you waiting for? So this is going to lead into some more tantalizing information as I tell you about some other deals coming only for our consumer members. So we're going to kick it off. We're in Affordable Veterinary Clinic. They offer free well exams to new clients with the purchase of vaccines. That is only for consumer members. We have Link that is offering 50% off plus one or free plus three, only for consumer members. We have Tax Divas offering 10% off or free registration, free consultation, or free gift. Again, only for consumer members. Bright Tech Communication offering 10% off their services. And guess who that's for? Consumer members. And yes, Boss Entertainment Group offering 10% off consumer members. Now, you know, Boss Entertainment Group has been doing phenomenal things week after week after week. Why? I mean, some of these things are free, so don't get me wrong, but any of the ones that are paid, get that extra 10% off just for being a consumer member. Now, if you are a business owner and you want to offer deals, discounts, giveaways, and rewards to our consumer members, then visit www.dealswithbob.com and join today. Now, to become a consumer member, how is that done? It's very simple. You go to our website and then you click on consumer sign up, pay that annual fee of $25, and you have a membership that keeps giving and giving and giving. And if you are a business owner, yes, we are doing some rebranding. But you can too become a consumer member, because as a business owner, you will want to also benefit from deals, discounts, giveaways, and rewards. So we look forward to working with you today. Yes. Oh, do you have your pens? Do you have your paper? It is that time. I'm excited. There's so much going on in the community. It is time for us to stay connected and start supporting. So we're going to make sure, if you have not done so, as I said earlier, make sure you go back to last week's episode where we had an amazing conversation with the phenomenal Sharon Jones. Find out more about Foster Care Month for the month of May. A Girl Like Me Incorporated, planning a graduation community giveaway, looking for partners that would like to come and share their resources. So if you want to be a part of this, make sure that you email a girl like me 2007@gmail.com. And if you're interested, you need, we might have passed the date. So just call and make sure, because I didn't notice. The projected date of this event is going to be May 27th from 1 to 3 p.m. A Girl Like Me Incorporated on May 10th, which is today. Oh, wow. So it was from 10 to 2. They had a lunch and learn. They haven't actually more of these. So I want to make sure that you stay connected about their upcoming lunch and learn events. And if you happen to be available, make sure you support. DJ Mr. Millennium and Boss Entertainment Group on May 13th is presenting Momentum promo event from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Harmony Cafe, Sweets and Treats and More, located at 12041 Dexter. And we do have a promo to show you regarding this event.
Saturday, May 13th at 4 p.m. The Momentum promo event is presented by Boss Entertainment Group Detroit and DJ Mr. Millennium live at In Harmony Cafe, Sweets and More, the sweetest spot in Detroit. 12041 Dexter Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48206. Yes, it is still free. And we still close even more paid deals than anywhere else in Metro Detroit, and we continue to preview the Energy Concert Series and all the amazing businesses, networking, hosts, and performers involved. We interview and promote on the spot, have great food, paid opportunities available, and much more. We also celebrate past events, more independent talent, services, accomplishments, and continue to give you more opportunities for independent businesses, talent, and services. See you Saturday. Boss, approved.
Another phenomenal event by Boss Entertainment Group and DJ Mr. Millennium with live music, DJ food vendors, meet and greet. This is the Energy Concert Series happening Thursday, May 18th. This is a free event. I am honored to be the host of this event, and award-winning supergroup King Mellow Man and Mellow Runnings will be performing live. This event too is happening at Harmony Cafe Sweets and Treats, and we do have a promo for this as well.
And it is here, live, May 18th, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. The Energy Concert Series is presented by Boss Entertainment Group Detroit, Mighty Together Entertainment and DJ, Mr. Millennium Live at In Harmony Cafe Suites and more, the sweetest spot in Detroit, 12041 Dexter Avenue, Detroit, Michigan, 48206. This blockbuster event features host Sonia Weaver of Deals with Bob and a live performance from award-winning supergroup King Mellowman and Mellow Runnings. We have food trucks, vendors, meet and greet, and more. All of this is free. Upgrade packages starting at only $5. For more information, contact Boss Entertainment Group Detroit at Barack and Roll on Facebook, at Bossy G Detroit on Instagram, or call 313-528-9677. For even more information, contact Mighty Together Entertainment at 313-510-6706. You bring the heat because we have the energy. See you Thursday, May 18th at 6:30 p.m. Boss approved.
I love that. You bring the heat because we have the energy. Divalicious Enterprises presents a spades tournament on Sunday, May 21st from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Functified P-Funk Concert 2023 with special guests. Friday, May 26, 2023 from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Hosted by Mona Lisa's Lyrics. Come get P-Funked. Admission is $35. Join us for our Red Dot Bag Packing Party. RSVP at www.awncares.org/events. They're requesting fragrance-free sanitary pads, fun and fellowship as we pack the bags for distribution, doing our part to end period poverty on Saturday, May 27th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Merchants Are Us and Divalicious Enterprise presents Business Shower Part 2 Business Elevation, Saturday, June 3rd from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Hello, Pittsburgh! Mona Lisa's Lyrics will be celebrating a mompreneur and dadpreneur with lots of gifts on June 3rd and 4th. Juneteenth Book Fair, hosted by Detroit Book City on Saturday, June 17th from 12:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. Celebrating freedom through literacy. Motor City Princess Ball, Sunday, June 25th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. This is a formal event for girls ages 5 to 18. Dinner, dancing, and giveaways. $47.12 per person. Happening at the Doubletree Detroit in Dearborn. And let us support you and your event by adding it to our Stay Connected segment. Visit www.dealswithbob.com and contact us today. I hope you were able to capture all those phenomenal things happening in our community. And if you didn't, you can catch us on the replay. So make sure that you do that and you share with other people, because we do not want them to miss out on all of the phenomenal things that are going on here throughout our community. Tonight's guest, can you get excited? I am. It's going to be a phenomenal conversation that I have been waiting for the last few weeks. And we're going to be speaking with the phenomenal Jessica Smith. Hi, Jessica. Welcome to the show.
Hi, and thank you for having me.
Okay.
And hello, everyone out there.
Yes, I am so excited for this conversation so that we can introduce you to everybody and all of the phenomenal things you offer. This is your first time here, so I'm going to let you know what I love to do is pass the baton over to my guests, giving you the opportunity to self introduce by sharing a little bit of who you are, what you do, and most importantly, why you do what you do. So take it away.
Okay, so who I am is Jessica Smith. I'm originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I've been in Atlanta, the metro area, for the past 18 and a half years. And then at some point, it just came to me that I didn't want to be there anymore. And so somehow I found myself to this amazing city called Detroit, Michigan, which, if I'm just being honest, I was never, ever going to move here. So when you talk about testimony and you talk about, letting go and letting God guide your steps and where you're supposed to be, here I am. And since I've been here, I just want to say, Sonia included, I've been shown nothing but love and fun times. And there's just some powerful, powerful people making a change and a difference here. And it's just awesome to be a part of that community. So, which leads into why I do what I do, right? So, a little bit about me is I worked in private wealth and was very successful and could have become a partner within the firm that I was with. But, like Sonia just said, at some point, you just know, right? I mean, God puts what he puts on your heart for a reason. And so, my story came with, it became inauthentic to me. I was literally helping multimillionaires retire. And the day that I had to make a choice between being a coach or a consultant, or a coach and consultant, or a financial advisor still in the private wealth space, was the day that there was a mass shooting in Texas, which was in 2017. And so I just thought about it, looking at my compliance, like, so let me get this straight. It's either help multimillionaires retire or help someone who's struggling with something bigger than themselves in their life. Okay, that's it. And so I walked away. So
Yeah, so we're going to get into a little bit deeper about what Jessica does. She kind of gave you a big overview of it, and I love talking about money. I know a lot of you guys be like, yeah, she has a lot of people that come on and talk about money, but it's very important. But what Jessica said was so unique, and I don't know if any of our previous guests has ever said anything like that. I mean, you leave from what you think is this elite position, helping these millionaires, being around all of this wealth that we talk about here in this greedy country of America. And you think like, yes, who we want that. We want to be on Wall Street. We want to have all this stuff, right? But then when you compare it to the people who really need it, whose lives are being impacted day to day, and you really look at where you can help and make an impact and a difference, that tells you right there about her heart. And so, I connected to Jessica. She came up to me just like, hey, how you doing? And I immediately was like, okay, this girl's spirit is okay, And so that's what I love because, I'm about our community, people. So, yes, Jessica, it just was so organic that you're here. Thank you for your dedication to the community and your willingness to share your intellectual property with us. Appreciate it so much. So much.
For sure. And thank you again for having me, being a newbie that, like, for real is new to Detroit. Like, I'm exploring, like, who knew Detroit had this? And,
so funny.
And I'm telling everyone, no, you got to come visit. Like, Detroit's not what we think it is.
Okay, so we're going to take a little detour a little bit because you were from Grand Rapids. Okay, yes. Grand Rapids is not that far away.
It's not at all, but it's like night and day. It really is. Not, there's maybe not so much of a gap now, just given the social media age and, internet and, all of that, right? But growing up, like, I grew up and I came out of high school in the 90s, right? And so, like, the way that we thought of it compared to Grand Rapids was not somewhere.
We were down here like running for our lives, shooting up stuff. I mean, did you really think that?
Yeah, and then even driving here, like to the airport and stuff, I was like, oh no, I'm not about that life. I couldn't do it. Like,
And
but they also,
the airport is not even Detroit though.
well, it's not, but sometimes if you take 96 and you drive through, some of the things you may see depending on which way MapQuest took you.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. So, but you shared that you left Grand Rapids and you were in Atlanta for a long time. You saying 18 years. So, is that where your business started? I mean, you were in corporate America, you said, and then you made a transition. So, did it start your business in Atlanta?
Yeah. So, let me just clarify too.
Okay.
I'm from Grand Rapids.
Okay.
And I'm not in Grand Rapids now. You know what I'm saying? So there's growth, right? That happens. And so I had a degree in criminal justice, which, plays into everything that I do now, right? Including the fact that I don't believe in, our boys getting numbers behind their names that sets them back in life, right? And then once they have that number, that they can't do something, more fruitful with their life, right? And so I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, because I had 2 little boys. Okay. And so it wasn't an option for me to raise my kids in Michigan because I just had it. There was nothing for them as teenagers. And so I wanted them to be in a culture, submerged in a culture where they could see that they could be more than what Michigan offered them. And I mean, it worked, right? Like my oldest, he went to the Navy. My youngest went down to Florida to Full Sail University and got a degree in game design art. And so then, what really hit me about them was in Gwinnett, which is a suburb of Atlanta, some kids that they went to school with ended up shooting and killing a police officer. And it was a Black officer that it was his first job on the force. And he actually got into the force to be like a conduit between, the children and the police. And so once I realized that, oh man, like my kids made it out, right? But I mean, some of these kids still, need guidance, right? And it's not enough to just do it for yours. And so back to your initial question though. So when I moved to Georgia, I actually ended up just getting a job through Kelly. And you talk about God, right? So Kelly, temp service. So you talk about God. The person that referred me to this temp position was actually from Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, wow.
And she told them her resume will not match, but you'll love her. And I just grew with the company. It was in its infancy. It was a franchise of one of the big financial firms. Okay. And so I grew with it. And then I ended up getting my licenses. And then, like I said, it was just inauthentic for me to stay. And I wanted to be helping more. So
awesome. Awesome. So I love that you shared the whole journey there. And even that you said it's not enough to just, help your own, but to actually give life to other children. Yes. It's definitely a village mentality. I always say that, like, I was part of a village mentality and we have to get back to our village mentality. But then to my additional question, so your business, tell us about your business then and how it was birthed and exactly what is your vision and your mission that you have?
Yeah. So how it was birthed is after about 10 years at the firm, I realized that I really liked helping people build stuff. Like I was good at processes and procedures, right? And so I literally went to my boss like, I think it's time for me to start transitioning out. And she literally looked at me with tears in her eyes like, I'm fortunate to have kept you this long. And a week later, she sent me my first client. And so it just grew from there, right? Like I've helped all types of businesses, but what I do is business wealth advisory services. So it includes everything from, from helping them get organized, right? But the main thing that I really use as my tool when I'm working with businesses is bookkeeping. Okay. And I use bookkeeping as the source of everything that I do because it opens up so much that, people don't even realize, right? And so I know one of your past guests actually spoke on budgets, and I know you're big on budgets. And just the basics of it, even, right? Like just knowing that I'm helping people, because it does trickle down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but then as I actually did a program, like I wrote my own program, I got it copywritten. As I did that, I really realized that, wait, there's people too, right? Like, so I don't want to just be business sided, because that's not who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I believe that business and your real life outside of work, they go hand in hand, right?
Yes.
That's where, stuff happens, right? And I know for me, when I went through problems, I could dive into work and kind of just, hide out, right? And not deal with things that I needed to deal with. So it was important for me too to make a difference in the world of personal lives. So I have a program called Why Do I Stay?
Okay.
Yeah. And I help people actually, go through their problems and come out with, a brand new outlook on something,
Mm.
and, be empowered about what it is that they discover on their own, which is the coaching part of who I am.
Mm. Love it. Love it. Now, when you said bookkeeping,
Yes.
so we kind of were behind the scenes. We were talking about, the whole COVID thing, and its height of, when it was there. And there were opportunities for businesses. Now, of course, a lot of people who were privileged to have more resources kind of got more of those fundings. But I imagine that a lot of people missed out too because of their books.
Yes.
Is that a valid assumption?
That's more than valid. And that's one of the things that I'm actually taking on in the city of Detroit. And something that I'm hearing over and over again, y'all, there's so much money here. Like, so much grant money and, loan money. I mean, they literally want to give it away, right? And what you should know is, if they're a nonprofit and they have money and they don't give it away, they have to give it back a lot of times. So
Mm,
we're literally letting money just go away, and it's all because people can't show their numbers on paper.
okay, okay,
Yeah. And
okay,
so that's one of the things that they are required to have. They have to have, the proof of who they're giving the funds to, because they all answer to someone.
okay. So, what if you are kind of an infancy uh nonprofit or business? Because I know, of course, they give monies, especially grant monies, a little more freely to nonprofits than they do to businesses. But I do know they do give to businesses, especially a business with a strong social enterprise connection, where they do
Mm-hmm.
social justice, I should say, connection. So if you're in your infancy, how does your books or bookkeeping kind of make an impact for you, or is there opportunity there?
Yeah, well, there could be an opportunity, right? Like, I start in infancy with my businesses and tell them to put the bookkeeping in place. Because what I find is, it's so much harder, and I think all of us know this, right? It's so much harder and more time consuming to have to go back and remember what some expenses were for, or, and then, or it comes tax time, right? The next year, and they don't care that you're in infancy. They want their money. And so at the end of the day, are you just, saying, oh, I have nothing to write off? Or
Mm,
are you writing off those things like your phone bill, your internet, depending on, if you're a home based business, or, there's so much in there, right? That you can capitalize on. But again, what you don't want is them coming after you and you don't have any proof for that.
right, right. That's so true. That
Yeah.
is so true.
That's the criminal justice in me. I'm going to keep
And
you safe.
that's good that you have both sides there.
Yeah, I definitely want to keep people safe and, help them grow, and be more profitable. So,
Uh, Awesome, awesome. So I kind of alluded a little bit, guys, as to, how I had the opportunity and the very, very well fortune of meeting Jessica. And it was from a networking event. And if you remember a few weeks ago, or well, now, God, time goes so quickly. Maybe a couple months ago now, is it, that we met at the Greater Detroit Realist Associating networking event. And guys, that was put on by one of our guests that has been on the show quite frequently, Mr. Kenneth Scott. And it was a phenomenal event where he decided to bring people in this industry from all areas together. And it was a phenomenal event, at least to me. So, Jessica, you was there. What was your take on the event?
It was awesome. Like, that was my first time actually going to any event, right?
Okay.
In Detroit. And the reality is that, after coming from Atlanta, and it's cold, right? I came in January. So it's literally freezing, and I'm like, I don't even know how to drive in this stuff like this for real anymore. And so going to it, I mean, it was beautiful. It was very professional,
Mhm.
and it was just down to earth and fun though too.
Mhm.
And you could hear and see the passion for Detroit in that room, and in the real estate industry, and just making a difference for the culture.
Mhm.
So seeing everyone come together and unite to do that was just awesome.
And unlike you, I have not had the pleasure of getting far from Detroit. I mean, I'm in a suburb, but I'm still a Detroiter at heart. And I always say, we go hard for Detroit. It is something within us. And I have heard people who have left Detroit or who have met people from Detroit, and they have said the same thing, like Detroiters go hard for Detroit. And so I'm like, yes, we do. It's a certain passion that we have for the city. And I'm so glad that you had an opportunity to have both perspectives. You were close to Detroit when you, like you said, from Grand Rapids, went to Atlanta, where I know a lot of people from Detroit like moved to Atlanta. So it's almost like, say, you kind of have that vibe there that was taken, but then came back here to get to work, to put your intellectual property and your passion to work where it's much needed within our community, because we are fighters and we are at the cusp of where I feel something great's about to happen. And so I got from that space where we organically just were connecting and having a good time. I mean, I ran into, Sherry. I love when I run into her. Again, like you said, Crystal was there, a couple of other people, Tanisha was there, and then I met some new people, including you. So
Yeah.
it was a phenomenal opportunity, guys. This is why I take the time to do stay connected. You have to go to some of these events. They are not on this platform just because. I mean, I don't just let every and anything come on, but these are valid places for you to go to meet people, so that, if you're looking to do something or can connect or volunteer, you definitely want to come out and be a part of what's going on within the community. So now, with your background, I don't even know, but I always say this, we all do have some challenges. So what were some unique challenges that you had to face when you decided to make the transition and start your own business?
Well, starting it wasn't a problem for me, right? Because I was able to finance it myself. Like, it didn't take a lot of money to start because I had such a great income. Where
Mhm.
my challenge came in was when I decided to pull that plug, and it got real. And I mean, but I mean, in hindsight, the bigger challenge was, right? Like, and I got this in COVID for myself, is that knowing where my blessings come from, and it's not man made, right?
Mhm.
And so for me, it just really took taking a look at what I was spending money on too,
Mhm.
and but I actually moved towards the end of COVID. And when I tell you, moving out of a house, it will humble you real quick on all that stuff you have, and grateful to have had it, right? And the memories and everything. But now I am like a minimalist. Like, I don't want it. I don't want anything, So it's really just having to take a look at everything and how I was going to make it work, and then putting my faith in God.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of with you. Now I do have my house. But I've been hearing my spirit, and I have just been, well, a little bit disobedient, but more so time, because like you said, I swear you just fill up a house just because is here. I don't know, but I am really like in my spirit have been looking like room by room, space by space, and I'm like, I'm getting rid of this. I'm getting rid of it. And I just want to be so simple, so simplistic. I want you to pretty much open the cabinets and be like, they're empty. Because why do I need all of this?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't need all of this. And when you really start getting down to why do we have all of this? I believe that it's because we're in this greedy country. It's been planted some type of way that you need this. Well, we got advertising. They throw so much advertising. You need this. You need to get this. You got to get this. You got to buy that. And next thing you know, you find yourself in a job that you might enjoy on some levels. Don't get me wrong. But then you have some people that might completely not enjoy it at all. Um, or you're not in your purpose. You might like what you do, but you're not in your purpose. And so therefore you find yourself working for the stuff, for the
Mhm.
stuff. You know?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and until you have an opportunity to I think like you said experience another side, you don't appreciate the minimalist of what life can bring and to really have the aha moment that your source is so much different than that resource
Hmm.
and that whatever security you've been thinking you've had really is not there.
No.
Your source is your security.
Hmm.
So I am glad that you mentioned that because so many people are probably out there, wanting to do it, and you actually made the decision, it sounds like, to do it.
Hmm.
What was that really like though? Like seriously, because I didn't make the decision. Decision was made like for me. I was contemplating it and thought myself preparing for it, but ultimately the decision was made for me. But for you, you made it. What?
I did.
How did that even happen?
So, oh my gosh. So again, my kids, I had became an empty nester. By that time, I had divorced, and my kids, were off doing their thing.
Mm.
And so during COVID, I'm just looking at this house, right? And I'm like, what am I doing? And it was a good sized house, right? It wasn't tiny and it wasn't huge. It was a good family house. It had Michigan bones, I'll say. It felt like a Michigan home when I bought my house. And so in, Metro Atlanta. But so long story short, I was like, okay, I'm over this. But then it was actually doing the moving.
Mhm.
And when I tell you, I had a dumpster, you know how you can rent the dumpsters?
Mhm.
And so I had one and it was full of stuff. And I had donated so much more. And then, after that, when I moved, like I stayed there for 2 years and then I made the transition here.
Mm.
So when I made the transition here, there was stuff that I hadn't even touched in that 2 years. I'm
Wow.
like, why am I holding on to this stuff? And
Mhm.
and I had like a huge walk-in closet and everything, but I'm like, I don't wear this stuff. Like, what am I
Mhm.
holding on to
Mhm.
it for, right? And I
Right.
love what you just mentioned about, the greed and all of that stuff, because I'm a firm believer that these companies are using us as marketing.
Mhm.
So we're not even seeing the ads, we're seeing other people
Mhm.
in all of the brands, and they're making money off of that, but you're spending your money on that. So make that make sense, And then a lot of times we can't qualify for houses. We can't get the business loans,
Mhm.
because that's based on personal credit until you can actually show profitability, right?
Right.
And so a lot of times. And so, but we have the latest and greatest. And, some people, I mean, in all fairness, like you like what you like, you love what you love, you spend your money however you're going to spend your money. But, at the same time, if it is a goal of yours, that's something that, to look at, right? Is
Right.
why you're actually buying it. What's the purpose behind it?
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. So, Jessica, I want to take a moment to give you an opportunity because I'm sure there's a lot of people, myself included, because as I was preparing for the show, I was like, I can do a whole lot better. And people know me. I'm transparent.
Me too.
I do not keep no books good.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit because I didn't need, I mean, I needed to, but I didn't need to at the level in which I need to now, if that makes sense, where I'm going now.
Sure.
Very basic, knew what was coming in, knew what was spent out, had an Excel, could capture everything, good enough, didn't. But now, I'm, I'm like on a totally different trajectory. I want everything that needs to be in place in place. And so I was like, that's another reason I was excited, because I'm like, woohoo, yeah, let me find out more about what she does. So here's the thing, there's other people like me. How can they connect with you outside of, we're going to get you connected in our network here at Deals with Bob? So that's one way. But right now, until that happens, how can people get connected to you?
Well, the best way to connect with me is through to call me, right? Like, I'm still old school, and I think that that's a marketing piece that people miss, is the in-person thing that you spoke on, right? Like the events, but also just having conversations, because, you may hear one thing, but a lot of times that person can fill a bigger need than you realize. Mm-hmm. And so I can share my phone number, and it's still an Atlanta number. So, I haven't switched to 313 yet, but don't worry, it's happening.
Okay. What is it?
It's 770 696 6623.
Okay. For those, I have put it in the chat so that you guys
and then also, another way, if you're not really a phone talking person, and feel free to text me too, if it's easier, but you can also check me out. I'm on Instagram, and my Instagram handle is Just the Wealth Builder.
I cannot spell Instagram. Okay, you said Just
the Wealth Builder.
Okay. I think I did that right. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay. Awesome.
Well,
awesome.
slide in my DMs, y'all.
Slide in her DMs. Only good things now.
Yeah, only good things. No, none of that, because you'll be blocked. I don't mind blocking.
Okay. So you're back in Detroit meeting people. I like to call this tea time. While you're here, what's on the horizon? Can you spill a little tea? You got some things going on?
I can.
Okay.
So I can't say with who, but there's two big things right now, actually, right? With two different nonprofits that I'm working with. Okay. One is actually working with me to deliver my copywritten course to their participants, which are entrepreneurs. And another one I'm working with to do a summer series. It's like summer series classes on budgeting and finances. And I'll also be available at that location on Wednesdays for their members to come in and get assistance with things pertaining to their budgets.
Awesome. And I am just so excited for our opportunities of collaborations with my platforms, because as I'm getting my rebrand and reintroduction for what I'm doing, what you just said aligns exactly up to what's been going on in my head, and just having information accessible to people. So we're just excited for you. I am just so overjoyed about what's coming in your future with all of the things that you've done. And I'm sure it's been stress. You've been a mom. You have moved back. All of these things.
Honey, I've been through some things.
Right. Exactly. So this smile radiates from you. How do you stay encouraged to keep going?
It is a challenge sometimes, right? And so I do have an accountability partner, and I believe she's on. And it's my niece. She's actually a realtor, and she's in Atlanta, so y'all are moving or need a realtor, I got one for you. And she's just as smiley as me and just as great. But not only that, right? We literally send each other encouraging sermons and things like that. So every day I really attempt to start my morning listening to something spiritual. And I am just really, I have it that God comes to me in my dreams. And so I'm really intentional when I wake up in the morning and just taking a moment to get present to what he said instead of just grabbing my phone and starting my day. So it helps. And then, there's times too where I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. I mean, like, God, what are you really saying? Right. And so, I mean, I'm human.
Yeah.
But, and so it's just really staying in the element. But also, the other piece for me is networking. Like actually being in communication with the people that I want to be making a difference with. That really matters to me.
Yeah.
And it's when you're in your zone and in your assignment, because it's so much easier and it'll bring you up out of whatever you're going through.
Right. And here's the thing too that I'm realizing for me is that you have wins, and then you find yourself all of a sudden like doubting this and doubting that, and it's like, why am I doubting? And I'm like, the enemy, get out of my head, get out of my head. Because and I'm like, okay, that's how I know, because all of those years, when I was given my talents, don't get me wrong, I love the fact that I still help people. I love the fact that I coach so many people to different levels of success and what they wanted. And it was a good time, but it was time to move on. That's just knowing that. But even during out that time, not once did I question my skills and abilities. Here I am building, literally. I have things and ideas that I presented that are still in place for a major corporation, across the company, my ideas, right? All of this stuff. Never did I once doubt it. Did I doubt my capabilities? Did I doubt what I was offering? Never. The moment now, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this like for myself. And I'm like, oh Lord, get out my head.
Yeah. And that's really what it is though, right? Like you're taking on a new assignment. And so you got this though, girl.
Exactly. But that's how I said how I know, because you're in my head too much, because you're trying to keep me from really impact, because that's what I want. I want to just take all of the stuff I've learned and have in here, this intellectual property, and make impact to other businesses and people and what they desire to have for their lives. And that's why I think our spirits connected, because I'm hearing you left for the same reason, to make impact into people's lives. And that's really, I truly believe, why we are born. There's a purpose for everyone, and it is to make an impact in others' lives. So when we're gone, it continues and it gets better and it grows and gets better. And for so many times, I think the separation was made, where the focus became, in my house versus in my community,
Yes. Yes. That is so true. And it's true. Like what you're saying, everything you're saying is so true. And that's why I trademarked my own slogan, which is growing minds and bottom lines. Because it's not just about a dollar. A dollar is a tool, right? But it affords you to do what? And, it's about, for me, it's about pouring into others as well, because it's not good enough for just me to have this wealth of knowledge, right? Because it's not just about the dollar. So it's the wealth of knowledge, like you just said you have, and just hold on to that intellectual property in my head. Like, what good is that doing?
Exactly.
Just taking up space. And I'm a minimalist.
I love it. So as we get down, and we're like 4 minutes away, can you believe it? OMG. I need to know, what book have you what book is on your nightstand, meaning that's what you're reading now, or that you've currently read or would highly recommend reading?
So the book that I keep by my nightstand, there's two books. I keep the Bible, and I keep a book called Believe Bigger.
Believe Bigger.
And it's by Marshawn Evans Daniels.
And it was by who?
Marshawn Evans Daniels.
Okay.
And so yeah, those two books. And yeah, I would highly recommend that book, especially with where you are. And there may be things that don't apply, but there's definitely things that will apply.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Jessica, as we round out the end of the show, is there anything that you would like to share that we have not actually touched on tonight?
Mm-hmm. So, one thing that I will share is that I actually do my bookkeeping in two ways. I understand everyone doesn't have a budget, and my giving back, right, and feeding it, pouring into the community looks like I'm not attempting to take all your money when you're starting out, well, ever, right? Because what good does that do you? And so I have where I actually can train in the bookkeeping as well as doing ongoing services. So if it's just you want to do it yourself because you don't have a budget starting off, I have a program for that too. And all of my bookkeeping comes with consulting.
Awesome. So, that's awesome. That I'm glad you did add that on, because you know a lot of times people do want to start, they don't have the resources to start and to put into everything that is required and invest in all of those pieces, because there are a lot of pieces and parts. Even with Deals with Bob, and we do our business basics to find out that a lot of people, you know, well, can I be on the directory? And I'm like, okay, well, you're a hobby, you know, because people think I got a name, and then some people, I'm like, that name is taken. You can't have that name, you know. So it's all of these steps before you can even solidify just even being a business. And so, you know, all of that, invest in that piece, and then find out what you need. In some industries, you need additional licensing, you need additional insurances, you need, you know, attorneys, you know, all of these different things that kind of start to add up that people don't necessarily think about. And so I'm glad that you offer it in such a way that you make it accessible for a person to be able to get the things in place that they need in place. So thank you so much for sharing that, Jessica. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And I just want to thank everybody for watching. If you're watching us live or if you're watching us on the replay, I want to take a plug. Don't forget that free gift, Go Get Your Life. That's another book that I would recommend, because seriously, your life is not going to come knocking at the door. You have to do what's necessary to go get the life you want. I'm also excited to put this out there. Happy Mother's Day. So yes, Jessica's a mom. I'm a mom. And all of those women that are out here watching us, happy Mother's Day to you. I'm going to take a moment to do an extra shout out to my mom. Hi, happy Mother's Day. She is the phenomenal founder of Tranquility Christian Counseling. She is a therapist. She loves what she does and specializes in grief therapy and counseling. And so we know that that is well needed. This month is Mental Health Awareness Month. She is accepting new patients. So if you are looking for a phenomenal Christian counselor, then you need to check out Miss Barbara Biggs at Tranquility Christian Counseling. And happy Mother's Day, Mom.
I love that. And I love that she's in the, you know, mental sciences, right?
Yes.
Like, oh, I could go on and on about that, but I love it. And happy Mother's Day to your mommy.
Yes, and to you too, and to all
and to you. Yeah.
And so everybody, yes, get your calendars marked, because we have a couple more shows in May coming. Next week on the 17th, we'll be having a conversation with Bertan G. Bailey. Can you get excited? I'm looking forward to that conversation. Mark your calendars, because we have a new alert special night for Thursday, May 25th. Yes, make sure you mark it now so you don't come looking for us on Wednesday, the 24th. We're going to be going live on Thursday, the 25th, as we speak to the phenomenal Dr. Eddie Connor. And then we're going to be closing out the month back on Wednesday, the 31st, with Cheryl Lynn Pope of Motor City Princess. And you saw in the Stay Connected segment that Princess Ball is on its way. So we are looking forward to talking to Cheryl about that upcoming event. And if you have not already done so, what are you waiting for? Seriously, I want to know. Leave me some comments if you have not already done so. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just go over to YouTube, do a search for Deals with Bob, click that red subscribe button, and click that notification bell while you're at it so you know every single time that we go live. Even if you can't see us during our time we're going live, make sure you watch the replay and make sure you share with a friend or two because you never know what they might need from one of our phenomenal guests. Now, as always, I'm going to say my last goodbyes. I am Sonia M. Weaver. I encourage you to spend with purpose because your dollar does matter. And deal with Bob. I will see you guys next week. Be blessed. Bye.
Bye.